Hello guys, welcome to Caciquecreations. My name is Ashley, and on this DIY, I'm going to be showing you how I make lotion. I will have a list and link to all of these, but I just wanted to kind of give you a quick look of what they are. We have distilled water, we have sweet almond oil from Bulk Apothecary, we have avocado oil, I'm pretty sure it's from Walmart, we have unrefined organic shea butter, which I get this from Amazon. I have my emulsifying wax, cosmetic grade, of course, from Amazon, and our stearic acid, also from Amazon. I bought this Phenonip, which is our natural preservative, from Amazon also. This one is pretty expensive. I'm pretty sure it was close to $20, but because you use very small amounts, it really ends up lasting a while. We have our cucumber oak scent and cucumber extract, both from Brambleberry. And I have our vitamin E oil and rosehip oil, both from Amazon. And these help add lots of benefits and good things for your skin. So here we go. Like I said, I'm going to put the link up for each of these. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and get started now. Over here I have 23 ounces of distilled water. And over here I have already added 1.7 ounces of sweet almond oil. I am now going to add 1 ounce of avocado oil. And then I am going to add my emulsifying wax and stearic acid. So between each, I'm going to, of course, tare to make sure I get the proper amount for each. So for my emulsifying wax, I'm going to add 1.2 ounces. There's a link in the description for everything that I'm using today. So there goes my emulsifying wax pastilles. That's the one I use. And now I'm going to add my stearic acid. And I'm going to do 1 ounce of this. Oops. Okay, perfect. And now this combination, I'm going to microwave it for 2 minutes. You can also do the whole double boiler thing on the stove if you'd like, but I am going to do it in the microwave because it's the same pretty much, and it's quicker actually. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and I'll come back when it's done. Okay guys, so we are back, and as you can see, this has melted together. I am now microwaving the water that we had for about 1 minute in the microwave, because whenever we add this to it, we don't want it to be too cold, otherwise it'll just kind of solidify everything and we won't be able to properly mix. So while that's going, I'm going to add my last ingredient for the oils, which is shea butter. So this is so hot that it's just pretty much gonna melt within a minute or two. And we're going to add 1.2 ounces of shea butter. As you heard, my water is now ready. And there we go. We have our shea butter, and now we're just gonna mix that in until it melts. As you can see, it kind of turned it into like a yellowish color. That's unrefined butter, and it's a little bit more natural, or not necessarily natural, but more in its raw state, I should say. So it turns into that color. But I do love the smell of natural or raw shea butter. So I think, yeah. So that's how fast it melted. It melted right before your eyes. And so now let's go ahead and get our water, and we can get this started. Now always be careful if you're using glass containers, they do get hot in the microwave, so please be careful when you're taking those out. So I'm now just quickly going to check my temperatures here. So my water's at 112 and my oils are 228, so that is pretty warm. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to change because this is the container that we're going to be mostly using. So I'm going to go ahead and change the water, and we are still going to need the scale to measure in the fragrances, the preservative, and the extract. Everything else kind of just eyeballing it. So, and we do want to work quickly here because it's gonna, as you can see, it'll start hardening. So we don't want it to get too hard, and then it'll be very difficult to pour into our bottles. If you're pouring into jars, then it's a lot easier, obviously. But so we're gonna go ahead and get started, and it'll be quickly. So you can already see the reaction here is turning that typical milky white like lotion does. I want all those yummy skin-loving oils in there. So now I'm going to check the temperature very quickly because it is important for our preservative. It needs to be below 180. And it's, I'm sorry, 140, and as you can see, it's 116. So I'm going to go ahead and tare my scale, and we're going to put about 0.3 ounces of the pheno nip. All right, so I have 0.3 of that. We're going to do between 0.1 and 0.2 ounces of our fragrance. Spilling it everywhere. And we're going to do about 0.4 ounces of our extract. Okay, I'm just gonna, I don't have much left, so mine went in with 0.5 because that's pretty much all that was left there. And then we're just gonna mix this in very well. So the last thing, as you can see, is still very liquidy, which is exactly what you want. It makes it easier to pour. So, well, we still have to emulsify. So I'm going to add my vitamin E oil. It just adds a lot of benefits to the skin. Also my rosehip oil. I get these from Amazon.com, and like I said, there will be a description or a link to everything on the bottom. And finally, we are going to add some color. So here goes our mica. This is Green Vibrance mica from Nurture Soap. I'm just going to give it a quick mix, and we're now going to use our stick blender to emulsify this very well. I will change this into a container that makes it a little bit easier for me to pour into the bottles. You can see that pretty cucumbery color. Now after you start emulsifying, you want to move quickly because it'll just start hardening faster and faster when it cools down. Alright guys, so I've already poured some of mine. It is a very liquidy still, but it will harden up as it cools. It's just must be still very warm. So I changed it to this container because it's a lot easier, as you can see, even when it's thicker. It's a lot easier to pour with this kind of container than with the one where we stick blended it in. I got these on Amazon. The reason I didn't stick blending these is because they're pretty small. They're only 3.5 cups big. So I'm not sure. I know Brambleberry sells some very similarly, but I found these to be just a little bit more affordable. But then again, brambleberry ones might be bigger. There might be 4 cups. So that's something to take in consideration. But I think they work perfectly well when you're making soaps that are where you're trying to get a lot of depth into it, or you really want to get whatever layer you're making into the soap deeper into it, into the mixture. And then whenever you're trying to pour into little bottles too. So I get these little ones. The big ones, I get them from Bulk Apothecary. They are very that's where I get my big ones from. The bottom ones, the small ones, which I use for testers or for samples, I actually get from Dollar Tree. They sell them 3 for $1. So considering they're about what, 34 cents each. I think that's a really great price. So that's where I get my little ones from, which I use for, like I said, testers or sample sizes. Although they are 2 ounces, so they are a little bit big for samples. So keep that in mind. If you can find some that are smaller, that would be probably better for samples. But for testers, I find them to be great. I use them for testers whenever I go to farmers markets or anywhere where I'm maybe personally sent, have my stand. So here we go. Here are just some. They're still very warm, so they are actually going to stay uncapped for 24 hours, or at least overnight. So tomorrow I will come back and I will put a cap on these. The reason that you don't want to put a cap on is because you want for them to fully cool down. And if you cap them now, they will, once they're cooling down, there will be condensation formed in the bottle. And you want to try to avoid as much moisture as possible whenever these are drying, because again, there's bacteria, there's mold, and you're just trying to avoid it as much as possible. So here we go, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Hey guys, I just wanted to give you a couple of notes about the lotion. First of all, you can definitely play with the creaminess of the lotion. This one's nice and creamy. If you'd like an even thicker lotion, you can reduce the amount of water. Instead of using 23 ounces of water, you can use 18, 15, or just keep reducing it until you find a recipe and a feel that you really enjoy. You can also, if you like a lighter lotion, you can also just increase the amount of water, and instead of using 23, you can use 26, 30 ounces. Also, just keep in mind that the phenol, which is a preservative, that one works in percentage of your total recipe. So you would probably need to increase it by 0.1 ounce if you're going to use it to around 30 ounces of water. So your phenol needs to be from 0.3 to 1% of your total recipe. Since this is a large amount of water, I would probably go towards the 1%, as close as you can to that, to make sure that no bacteria or mold grows on that. Also, I wanted to speak to you about the cost of making these. If you decide that you like to try out the lotion before actually making purchasing all of the ingredients that this takes, I will post a link to my Etsy shop in which you can purchase the lotion and try it out and see how it feels. This is a very nice, more natural alternative than all the other lotions that you can buy in the retail. Also, after adding everything individually, it cost me about $1.25 to make each 4-ounce bottle of lotion. So you can set your price after that, depending on however long it takes you to make and however ingredients you decide to add or take away. So I love to use it. Me personally, I love the feel of them. They really last on your skin, and it's a more natural alternative. It takes a little bit of time, but it's not too much. The ingredients are expensive, but because you only use a small amount, they actually last a good bit. So thank you guys for watching so much. I hope you like it. If you'd like to see me do anything else, please comment. Comment what you think, any other requests. I'm more than happy to show you guys my process for how I do things. I hope you guys are enjoying it, and thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.